Good morning and welcome to the inaugural edition of the week ahead for the 128th legislature. We are back, the legislature's back, and they are already at work. A lot of the committees are meeting, doing orientation, meeting with departments over which they have jurisdiction on their various public policy issues. And we've already had some public hearings, and we're going to have some more in the next couple of weeks. So Ben, why don't you take it away?
Sure, yeah, the Natural Resources Committee already had their orientations last week, and this week we do have a public hearing on the plastic bag bill. It seems to be an annual bill that we see now to ban plastic bags statewide, so we will be there to voice our opposition along with, I'm sure, some other, the Retail Association, General Day, the Restaurant Association, and other colleagues from business associations. So diving right into natural resources. Over in the Education Committee, they're starting this week with some public hearings. We're going to be dealing with the next gen college science standards in K-12 education legislation to kind of upgrade our science standards in our curriculum, and also college and career readiness. The task force, they'll be dealing with a piece of legislation on that.
In taxation, they're meeting this morning at 10 for orientation and just to kind of talk to the staff, and they're going to be meeting with Maine Revenue Services this afternoon, so we're going to attend. They don't have an orientation scheduled yet for lobbyists, and I don't know if they're gonna, but we're going to keep an eye on that. And also in appropriations, they started the supplemental budget hearings yesterday, or last week rather, and I assume this week they're going to have some work sessions on that. It wasn't a very big supplemental budget, so that's kind of a new we haven't seen a supplemental budget, which is only 8 pages.
Long
So
time.
that's a new, but anyways, we'll be keeping an eye on that. So that's really it for tax and appropriations.
This week, the Labor, Commerce, Research, and Economic Development Committee continues their orientation process, meeting with various state agencies. Next week, they do have a public hearing on a workers' comp bill. We'll be testifying on that bill. And the big issue has been the Veterans and Legal Affairs work on the Marijuana Legalization Act, or the MLA, an acronym. The committee met last week and they had a public hearing that really sought to do two major things. One is extend the moratorium on the sale of retail sale of recreational marijuana for 3 additional months, and the other was to make sure that minors under 21 years of age did not have access to the ability to purchase recreational marijuana or marijuana products. After a public hearing and 3 different work sessions, the committee hammered out what is a very good piece of legislation unanimously. That bill will now go to the floor. It's LD 88 for those of you that are interested, as a unanimous piece and an emergency piece of legislation, which means before it can be enacted it needs a 2/3 vote. I do expect some debate on that on the floor. The folks representing the legal marijuana, the retail marijuana sales sector of the economy, and also some of the people that worked on getting the signatures and promoting the referendum weren't particularly pleased with the additional 3 months. But what became obvious in the committee work is there are so many different threads of this, that this law, the MLA, will impact, that the legislature needs time to address those elements as well as rulemaking. It appears that the legislature will also approve a joint select committee to deal with the 50, 70 plus pieces of legislation that are expected around this issue. So that will certainly be a major portion or an issue in this legislative session, and we will be following that because of the ramifications for employers and in the workplace very closely. I think other than that, that's it for this week. Anything? All right, well, thank you for joining us for our first edition of the week ahead, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Stay classy, man.